Good morning, welcome back to the channel. I'm Wayne and I'm still an alcoholic. In this video, I'm going to show you how to draft a chart in order to deal with all the rambling things that are going on in your head that might have you going insane and not know what to do with those things. Here, we're going to see a lesson in how to actually put it on paper and get a different perspective of what it is that is actually going on. Some of it may be something you can deal with right now, and other things you may be able to discard and totally not have to worry about it whatsoever. For this video, you're only going to need a pen of your choice, doesn't matter what it is, and a sheet of paper. The end result is going to look like this. You are able to follow along with me and draft your own kind of workable chart of how to deal with the things that are going on in your head and totally be able to get them to be something manageable. If you're ready to do it, let's go. If you have ever been to rehab or you've done any type of therapy to where it involved you having to get things out of your head and on the paper so you can see them in a different perspective, then this video is for you. How we're going to do it is there's a method that I use called Get a Grip. And with this method, like I said, you are able to get it all on paper and see if there are things that you can just totally dismiss, or if you have to do a little bit of work and what that work might be. Along with that, you have feelings that are attached to every thought that you have. What we're going to do, folks, is you are going to get inside your head, take the thoughts that are driving you insane right now and that are just running around in there that you can't get a handle on and they're bogging you down. The way you're going to do that is without censorship whatsoever. You are going to pick the top 3 that come up first, 1, 2, and 3, and you're going to write them on this piece of paper. There's a method to it though. You don't just randomly write. What you're going to do is in the first column that you see right here, you are going to put the word thought or thoughts, depending on what it is or how much it is that you have going on. Next to that, you are going to write the word feeling or feelings, depending on if you have multiple feelings attached to those thoughts. The important part here is, folks, to not censor those whatsoever. Don't pick and choose the ones that make you feel a little bit better about what it is you're thinking. Put that uncensored thought right onto this piece of paper. Now, don't put that there yet. We're almost done making the chart, okay? Next to the word feelings, you are going to put out of my control, or however you want to phrase it. And I'm actually going to roll over to 2 pieces of paper because I chose a Sharpie, and that's probably not the best tool to use depending on how you are actually going to formulate your thoughts and put them on paper. Okay, so for the next one, next to out of control, you are going to put things I can do now. Or however you want to phrase it, okay? Just as long as you know this is action that you can take right now instead of having it running around in your mind driving you insane. You can actually do something about it at this point in time. Next to that, folks, write the word priority or priorities, because what we're going to do is we're going to take those things that we can do now and we're going to categorize them as far as what needs to be addressed immediately and what can kind of be put down on the back burner and addressed a little bit later in time. Next to this, folks, and this is the most important thing that you're going to write, because this is the outcome after you've exhausted the things that are out of your control, the things that you can do now, and once you've taken that action, what your final feeling is. Because believe it or not, folks, we can change the way we feel about what we think. And this is a way to do it. And this is a way to get these things out of your head onto paper, see them for what they are. It's kind of like talking to somebody else and getting a different point of view on it. Now, what you should have should look like this. And mine is kind of left-handed scramble ramble. So I just came off the green screen a little bit, that's okay. it should look a little something like this. Now, what I'm going to do is I have a couple things going on in my head, and I'm going to actually list them out. What I would like for you to do is take those first 3 thoughts. Doesn't matter what it is. Put it on the paper. All right, you ready? Go ahead. And I'm just jotting mine down. You continue jotting yours down, and don't censor them, okay, folks? Don't censor them whatsoever. Okay, so here are my 3, and you should have your 3, and your column should start to look like this. Now, the important thing here is, folks, you can't just run through this. You have to actually put some genuine thought into it, and your immediate thought, not a ghost thought, not something that makes you feel better, and not something that makes somebody else feel better, because this is for you. This is a tool for you to get a grip on those things in your head and be able to see them for what they are. Okay, next to your first one, and I wrote for my thoughts, laundry is insane, wife takes up my space, and I hate being late. Okay? So those are the things that came out. Now, for laundry is insane, right? My feelings about it, just frustrated that I can't do anything as it piles up and I still have to do it. Then you drop down and you put your feeling for me, wife takes up all of my space. My feelings, a bit resentful, because I work hard for my space and I'm able to, form a home for us, and I think that I should be able to have my own space to work out. I feel that I should be able to have my own space in order to meditate and do these videos, and I also feel that I should have my own space simply because the more space that we give each other, not so much just going away from them, but the more space that my wife and I give each other, the better we are able to live together. And if you are married or you have a stay girlfriend or a stay boyfriend or whatever it is, then you understand completely what it is my feeling is about. It might be yours, it might not, but let's drive on. I hate being late. Angry. Because when I'm late, I used to live by the mantra, if you're late, people die. And that is only because I was a soldier in the United States Army for 20 years. And that sentiment doesn't go away immediately. So I'd rather be 10 minutes early than 10 minutes late. That's just me. Now for the laundry, right? Is that out of my control? Put your comments below. And as you write yours, so you're back up at your first thought, you have your feeling attached to it. And you are now going to determine if that's something you can deal with now, if you can deal with later, or you can't deal with at all. So for your first one, is that something you can address? Maybe. If it is, give yourself a pat on the back, because there is something you can do about it, and there's something that you can do as far as getting that out of the insanity in your head, and you can see what it is exactly that you're able to do in order to either fix that, solve that, or move forward with it, or just drop it all together. So is it out of your control? Is the laundry out of my control? No, it's not. So I'm just gonna put a dash in mine, and it's left-handed, but I'm gonna put it right there as well. If it's out of your control, whatever that thing is, go ahead and put an X and circle that X, okay? Like this. Boom. All right? For the laundry, right? Are there things that I can do now? Because you're moving along in your columns, and you should be moving along just like that right there. All right? Are there things I can do now? Yes, there is. I can do laundry during the week as it piles up. Now that's for me. I don't know what yours is. So whatever yours is, if there's an action that you can take, go ahead and put what that action is. Next to that, right? So you have your priorities. We can't do that yet because we don't have the other stuff. So now you're going to drop down to your second thought. For me, it was wife takes up my space, and I feel a bit resentful about it because I work hard for what I have, and I think that I should be able to kind of have freedom to do what I want within my own house. Is it out of my control? No, it's not. So for me, I'm going to put another dash. I don't know what you're going to put. If it is something that you can't do anything about, like I said, you're going to put an X and a circle. If not, put a dash. Okay? So your chart should be coming along a little bit. And if you're following along, I'm telling you, this tool is going to be something that you can utilize over and over again to deal with those busy thoughts in your head and to be able to get them out and see them in a different way. That way, it won't drive you so insane. Does that make sense? If it does, drop a comment below because we're moving on. All right, so things I can do now about wife taking up my space. I can move to another room. I can wake up a little bit earlier to work out. And I can take a walk and maybe go to the gym. All right, so my chart is filling up, right? I can't finish these other two columns yet because I have to move on to that third feeling that I'm having. Now you may take a little bit more time to fill your chart out, and that's okay because later on, as you do this tool, it is going to become second nature and you're going to be able to do it without even thinking about it in your head and be able to formulate plans that you are able to be action on, or just dismiss it all together and get that out of your brain so that way you don't have to worry about it and you don't have to be anxious and you don't have to have panic attacks or anything of that nature for things that you can actually control. I hate being late. I feel angry about it because in my feeling column, I put angry. As I told you, I'd rather be 10 minutes early than 10 minutes late. Now, is this out of my control? Absolutely not. So now I have 3 dashes. You might have 3 X's, all determined by the thought that you have, the feeling attached to it, and what you can or cannot do. Okay? Your chart should be looking like this and it should be coming along. We are going to go ahead and execute this last one. Now for me, it is in my control in order to not be late. So what can I do? Again, I can wake up early. I can plan ahead. I can plan the day before on when I'm going to exercise or when I'm going to meditate or when I'm going to read my daily reflections or when I'm just going to have a little bit of time with my son outside of doing all the other things that I do within a day, and I won't have to be late doing them. Plan ahead. Okay, so I don't know what your chart is looking like. I'm going to show you mine real quick. It's all left-handed madness. So that's what that is looking like for me. And I don't know what yours looks like for you. However, feel free to put a little photo up in there in the comment section, and maybe if you can do that, I don't know. I don't think you can. So just a thumbs up, that'll help a lot. And you should be seeing things in a different way by now, because as you fill this out, your feelings may start to alter a little bit about what it is that is driving you a little bit crazy and what it is of some of the thoughts that you can dismiss, and that should be changing the way that you feel. That is the whole point of this, and that is the way that you can manage the thoughts going on in your head. So we're going to move on to the last step, folks, and that is prioritizing. All right, so laundry, wife takes up my space, and I hate being angry. So I hate being angry. Wife takes up my space. Wife takes up my space is going to be number 1. Okay? That is the first thing that I'm going to tackle because I enjoy my time and that will allow me to do the other things. Laundry is driving me insane and I hate being late. So I hate being late. I can do that now. I can adjust my actions in order to make that a little bit better in my life. And there are things that you can do also within your 3 to make it a little bit more manageable for you in yours. So that automatically makes laundry is insane, right? Laundry is driving me nuts. So you should have a priority on yours. And it should look like this right there. All right? So now we are going to move on to the most important thing, and the most important column that is going to determine how the rest of your day goes and how you feel about the situations that are happening. My feelings about the laundry. I am absolutely satisfied because I can do my laundry during the week and I don't have to worry about it piling up for the weekend, and I don't have to rush in order to get it done. Wife takes up my space, right? So for that, originally I was resentful and I felt that she owed me a little bit, and I felt that I deserved my own space because I work hard for the things I have and that it's mine. That's pretty much the way that I thought about it, because I don't want to uncensor it and I don't want to filter it. How do I feel now that I've gone through this and I've determined that I can move to another room, or I can wake up a little bit earlier, or even more, I can go to the gym and not have to worry about her being in my space, or me being in hers for that matter? How do I feel about that? I feel calm. Now your feelings should start to match the action that you're able to take, and if they don't, you can do this over and over again without a filter and determine if it's something that you have to dismiss altogether or something you can really take action on, because 9 times out of 10, if you can take action on it, you don't have to worry about it anymore, because you can identify the things that you can do. If this is starting to make sense, you are doing this the correct way, and actually there's no real wrong way to do it as long as you put your true thoughts in there. Make sense? Perhaps. If so, give a thumbs up. And now, the last one. I hate being late. I was angry about it because I truly do not like to be late. Again, if I'm late, people die. The mission fails, or whatever the case is. Okay, so I determined that I can wake up earlier and plan ahead. Now with that, I was angry at first because when I'm late, it frustrates me to no end, and I really hate it when other people are late as well. So now that I've done all that and my priorities are there, I can wake up earlier and plan ahead. So how do I feel about it at the end of working this Get a Grip chart? I am happy, because I know for a fact that if I do the things that I say that I can take plans of action on, I'm never going to be late. Well, we're human, so there are circumstances and there are things that just happen in life to where you can't really avoid being late. But for me, I know that there are things I can do in order to head that off and not have to worry about that. Now you should have a full chart that looks sort of like this. I've determined, and I started out in this chart, folks, get a grip, frustrated, resentful, and angry. Now, our busy minds will keep us locked in there if we're not able to get a hold of those thoughts, and we're not able to determine the feelings that go along with them, and we're not able to see the action that we can take. By doing this, we are able to actually lay it out on paper, get a different perspective, and see things for what they perhaps really are based on the way we feel about them. At the end of your chart, you should have a new feeling, or if you feel the same, perhaps that's something you have to address right now instead of holding that in. For me, at the end of my chart, at the end of Get a Grip, and by getting a hold of the thoughts in my busy mind, I am satisfied, calm, and happy. How do you feel? Let me know what you think about this video, and let me know what you think about Get a Grip and what it can do for you in your life. And you can coin it or phrase it for however you like, folks. And I hope that you have a great day. Life is a garden, folks. And if you've gotten any value out of this video, drop your comments below. Give that like it keeps the video going. And consider subscribing to the channel. Life is a garden. Dig it, folks. I'm Wayne, and have a great day.